Video, I am going to show you some edits completed with watercolors. So in the first one I'm going to add cling film. The first thing obviously you need to do is you need to add the paint to the page. Now I'm just using half an A4 page, so the first thing I'm doing is I am measuring off the page and I am masking it off with masking tape so the colour does not bleed onto the other side of the page. Now it's a little bit more interesting if we add a variety of colours, so you can see I am mixing different colours together. For this to work well, it is important that the paints are quite wet. So if you find you've worked quite slowly, go back over the paper and make sure it is damp. Now when you add the cling film on top, it is really important that there is a crinkled effect. This is what gathers up the paint to create the textured pattern. Okay. And here you can see in the image the crinkled effect that has been created with the cling film. In the next one I am going to experiment with felt tips and watercolour. Most felt tips are not resistant to water, so the effect of water will make them bleed. So you can see in the first instant I have added the watercolours down first and I've added felt tip over the top of them to make the felt tip bleed into the paint. In the second example I have drawn first and I have added the watercolour over the top, and again it has made the pen leak. It is up to you which you find more successful. They lend themselves to different styles of art, but you can see I'm doing a whole variety of colours and I am adding pen in lots of different areas to this. In the next one I am going to add air to the watercolour. So obviously again, first thing you need to do is you need to add the paint down. Now the first time I've just blown onto the paper and you can see there's not been a drastic effect. The watercolour does need to be very wet. A straw works very well for this. In this example I have used a hairdryer to give some quite powerful movement to the watercolour paints. And you can obviously change direction when you are doing this and have paint kind of splatter across from lots of different directions. As you can see, I am a little bit harder to control. In the next one I am going to add salt. So the beginning, again you're adding your paint to your whole page, and again you need to make sure that the paint is very wet. You're only going to be able to affect the watercolours with these different methods while the paints are wet. Luckily with watercolours you can add water again afterwards. Again, to get a more interesting effect with this I have added a range of colours to the page. Now salt draws up water, so where you apply the salt it will draw the water towards it, which will give then a darker colour on that area. So the more the darker the colour is on the paper, the more drastic the effect will be with the salt. Unfortunately my photograph doesn't really do this justice, but you'll see it in a minute. So you want to add, if you have it got nice thick rock salt will work better, but you can have a go with other stuff if that's what you've got. And you can see the kind of darker specks that have appeared where the lumps of salt were sitting better on the dark areas. Next one is a wax resist technique. So for this I am going to use a clear white crayon. So you cannot see it in the paper, but obviously the nature of the wax is that the watercolour cannot mix with it. So I've drawn a pattern onto my paper and I've been thinking about my Aboriginal theme that I'll be working on top of this image when I have added this on. And you can see as I'm adding the watercolours, the page is staying with the paper colour underneath when I am adding the watercolours on top. Now obviously if I'd used a coloured crayon that would have worked in the same way, it wouldn't have mixed with the watercolours. So you can have an experiment with a whole range of different coloured wax crayons with this technique. And the last one I am going to work with watercolour and bubble wrap. This is quite similar to the one we looked at with the cling film. It works off the same principle. So again, adding your paint nice and watery, but you still want to have a strong colour. You'll have a more drastic imprint from the bubble wrap if you add a darker colour. If you find the paper has dried, remember, add water on it before you add the bubble wrap on top. Pressing it down so you can see the bubble wrap has affected the watercolour, and I did place a book on top of it to keep the pressure on, and there you can see the bubble wrap imprint. Have a go.